Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is At the Buzzer with our hosts, Jack Tiernan. Jack, how you doing?
Good, Brian. How are you, man?
I'm doing quite well. And of course, yes, I'm Brad. I'm here all the time. You fucking know me. You're over me at this point. We're here to talk about the Celtics and a disappointing end to an otherwise, pretty fun season. Yeah, it had its ups and downs for sure, but there were genuinely good moments going on there. But I guess right off the bat, what do you think? The Celtics lost 4-1 to the Nets to Kyrie, and
Oh,
a
stop.
lot of drama surrounding that, of course.
Man, if any Celtics fans still liked Kyrie after the last couple of years, they don't anymore. Um,
No.
man, that was awful. I was actually kind of warming up to him a little bit, and then he just
Mm,
did something like that and made those comments about subtle racism, which, I mean, I get that. It can be taken.
mm,
But especially stomping on friggin' Lucky, man, what are you gaining from that?
I
That was
know.
a friend. I don't know. I could go on. I'll spare our viewers that tangent
Yeah.
for another day.
We definitely don't want to at all seem like we're condoning anyone throwing water bottles. That is very bad.
Absolutely not. No,
That guy should have gotten kicked out and banned and
he
everything.
deserved everything he
Yeah.
got. Yeah,
Um, but Kyrie, he knew what he was doing. He was being intentionally antagonistic, um, stomping on Lucky after a win. Certainly, I get it. I get it. It didn't end well in Boston,
yeah.
but he didn't do himself any favors. That is for
No,
sure. So I guess
no.
is there anything like any bright spots from this series that we can take away? I know they only won one game, but that one game was good, right?
That was a great game. I
Yeah.
love watching that. I remember looking at the score at me, I think, was Tatum's rise. Man, he was meteoric in
Mm,
playoffs. When Kemba played, he looked all right.
mm,
Tristan Thompson was a beast on the boards. As soon as we got a crowd, Tristan Thompson remembered to be an offensive rebounder, so that was nice.
mm.
Um, I mean, bright spots going into next year, I suppose, but I think there are more cons than pros coming into 2021 because of some uncertainties with the roster too.
Yeah, that is for sure. And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Kyrie said that he thinks like the whole world's rooting for the Nets. I don't know about that. I don't know
I
if
think
they're
the whole world's rooting
necessarily.
against the Nets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw those comments too. I was surprised to hear that. He's delirious, man.
Hey, I mean, it started off with them talking about flat Earth so many years ago, and it's
Oh
been
man,
a trip ever since. He
that's
certainly
not
has
real.
good points, of course, but they're always peppered in with just like, I don't know if I live in the same reality as Kyrie Irving sometimes.
No, no, man. He goes off on his own little adventures once in a while, and it
Mm,
takes a bit to bring him back. But
right.
that's the Nets' problem now.
So yeah, good luck to them. I guess who
Yeah,
cares? Whatever, over it. I think I'm gonna root for the Suns going forward. I want Chris Paul to win a championship before his career's
love
over. So
CP3. Me too.
I gotta hope that they can pull it out. But it definitely is disappointing. And yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit happening. Jack, where to even start with the Celtics offseason already?
Okay, I guess let's start with a couple of let's talk about priorities, right? Let's talk about re-signing Evan Fournier and having a
Mm,
good legit six guy come off the bench. Uh and trading for another star. I know that is such a hot take because it's like, okay, well, hold on. We just got I mean not really a hot take, but like that's an oh come on, Jake. Like it's not actually gonna happen.
yeah, right.
Response, I assume.
Yeah,
Um
just get another
but
good
like
player.
I think Brad's gonna come in here pretty hot. I think he and Danny is evidenced in their I don't know, I guess passing of the torch press conference
Mm,
was kind of that Brad didn't agree with a lot of the decisions that were made over the last couple of seasons. And I think Brad's gonna come in with this mindset and real big tenacity towards like we're gonna make this work because we're so close. And he
right.
knows it firsthand. He's been on the bench for the last six
Mm,
plus years. He's watched Tatum and Jalen Brown evolve, um, and that's big. I think that's really big. So I hope
yeah.
that happens first thing.
No, I think definitely it'll be weird for Danny Ainge to no longer be a
Yeah,
part of the Celtics. Of course, he built the big three, by bringing in Allen and Garnett, and he's made plenty of moves. But I do think in more recent times there hasn't been that aggressiveness to go out there and to make the moves. Like we lamented it early on this show, like when one of the first couple episodes is like, hope Danny Ainge makes a move, don't know if he will, and then just nothing. So hopefully
Lo and behold.
hopefully Brad Stevens can take kind of an opposite approach, a more aggressive approach, as it were. Do you have any idea who they're going to hire as a head coach?
Dude, oh my God. I've got a couple names that I've heard thrown out there. Ones that I like. I kind of like Jason Kidd. I don't feel great about that hire. I think he's going to be good enough. He's well respected. Flips up the locker room a bit, right?
Right.
I think I would love to see Sam Cassell. I know that's kind of a hot take. Sam Cassell.
Right.
I love Sam Cassell. I believe he's an assistant for the Clippers right now.
Right.
Or Chauncey Billups, one of the two. I would take either of those two.
Yeah.
I think Kendrick Perkins.
Chauncey Billups, he was a Celtic, right? At the beginning of his career.
Come
back home. Come back.
Yeah, for one season. Yeah, full circle. Bring it back.
That'd be a very interesting pick.
Chauncey Bill. Yeah, I believe it's him. It's him or Sam Cassell. I mix them up a lot, honestly. But him, I think he's an assistant right now with the Clippers.
Okay.
I know he's on the radar for a lot of vacancies, including the Trailblazers.
Yeah, no, I think he'd be good. I think, like you said, Jason Kidd, that'd be interesting. Obviously, he did have one opportunity, right, with the Nets. It didn't go great.
No.
Kind of a bad situation where they traded a lot of draft capital to the Celtics for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, and that didn't necessarily work out the way they hoped it was going to.
No.
So it could be, a second chance for him. It'll be very interesting. But I guess we can't really speculate what's going to happen there. Let's talk a little bit about who these should trade for, in your opinion.
Sure. In my opinion, they need pieces in a lot of places. I think in reality, though, I think you've got your forward position set for the most part. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown are rock solid. I actually think Jabari would be a great coming into next year. I know he was a second over a couple years ago, but a while back by Milwaukee, and he never really became that guy, especially the last years he's tapered off a bit. But doing what he did in Brad Stevens' offense in a couple of weeks where he would put up some high teens when he actually got minutes was pretty reassuring. So I'd like to see what he does in year 2 with the Celtics because we have him again for next year.
Right.
So I think your forward position is set, right? If anything, trade a couple of guys away and get Grant Williams. But I think you have to look to figure out how you can move on from campus. That's the biggest move right now. Whether that's acquiring a young stud, which I think is going to be easier said than done, or acquiring another proven vet and giving up some more draft, we'll get it. I think if we're going to talk conspiracies here, Jason Kidd, right, pulls out of the Portland job. I believe it was 2 days after Damian Lillard said that he would love for Jason Kidd to come to Portland. And then Jason Kidd was like, you know what? Nah, I'm not. I don't feel that. So that leaves essentially Boston for Jason Kidd's vacancy. If the Celtics trade Kemba Walker, a big, so Tristan Thompson, Robert Williams, preferably not Robert Williams because I love this.
Right.
And a couple first round picks, right? Let's say so Kemba, 2 firsts, and let's say Time Lord, right? And get Damian Lillard is my pick because Damian Lillard wants to play under Jason Kidd, right? Damian Lillard is elite. Dame is such an underappreciated point guard. Small market team. You move him into the big market. That's good for the NBA. It's good for Dame. That's great for the Boston Celtics. So if you could get some underappreciated guard, not necessarily this prime like we did with Kemba, but somebody who's still in that prime and can still contribute and be essentially a shot creator and a ball handler at the same time, which is what Dame really does well. And what Kemba did in his first season with Boston. That would be such a big difference.
Yeah, no, I think it would be great, obviously, for them if they can pull it off. Yeah, right now it's all just speculation, right? It's all just like what
Completely.
if, what can they do? Because like you said, they are close. I feel. I mean, the Nets are obviously great, and that's going to be a buzzsaw
Right.
for the next 3 or 4 years to get past.
Right.
But I mean, shouldn't give up, right? Like
No.
Jason Tatum
No.
is amazing, and it's such a great piece to build a team around. Like
Right.
you might as well just go for it, right?
Absolutely. You have him, Marcus Smart, and Jalen Brown. If you can keep that young core together for as long as possible and build
Mm,
around them and get them good supporting pieces, I mean, you're in great shape. Right now, you've got a bunch of essentially studs on the bench. Yeah. So
right,
you
right.
got to get people who can contribute.
Mm, got to get a little deeper. Yeah. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to touch on before we get on out of here?
Let's talk real quick. Let me hit on trading, right? I think if you
Yeah.
got to trade, you essentially any trades that you make, you go to Walker just because he's such a negative asset at this point.
Mm,
I think it's unfortunate to say because I love Kemba,
right.
but I think we've probably watched him play his last game. So, go back, watch some Kemba highlights, cry a little, get ready for what's coming next. That's
Right.
all I got,
All
unfortunately.
right. Oh man. So we'll see. I guess last before we let you leave, who do you think's going to take this championship home at this point?
Man,
We've
I
lost
hate.
the two teams from last year. I mean, quick turnaround, 71 days off, and then having to do a whole season again. I
No,
mean, it wasn't gonna like
no.
something was gonna give. LeBron James is 36. He was gonna get hurt. Like,
Yeah,
it's not surprising. I mean, we talked about. I think the last video we had, it was like they might not even make the playoffs proper
right.
from the
Yeah.
play-in. So like, we're not necessarily surprised they went out in the first round, right?
No, definitely not. I mean, I think, and that's the thing too, with LeBron and AD getting hurt, you have to wonder again, and I think we said
Mm,
this before too. You have to wonder if that is a product of the offseason. And the same with the
mm,
Hawks and the Knicks. Is that a product of the 270 something day offseason that they had because they didn't
right.
make the playoffs at all? So
Right. No, that's a
are
good
these
point.
anomalies? Yeah, it's a big question.
I know a lot of New York fans are like, please no, we've suffered
No,
so long. I guess they'll have to become Nets fans.
that's sad. Yeah, the whole world is rooting for him though. So
That's true.
no,
Yeah,
I think if I had to pick a team, I'm not gonna say the Nets. I'm actually gonna go with Philly, who I hate more than the Nets. I hate them both so much.
that's
It's
fair.
really just
Yeah.
a toss up. I guess I'm taking Philly because at least Joel Embiid is fun to watch, even though I hate him. It
It,
is what it is.
if Philly wins, can we say the process was a success after all
Oh,
these years?
I guess so, but you
Or
got to
are
give
we
Markel
post
Fultz a
process? Like, what do you
Yeah, this
think?
is
Are we post it by
we're
now?
almost at we're almost at the uninstall stage. I think. I
Mm,
don't know. I don't know where we're at with this process. Is if Joel Embiid is still talking,
mm.
it's pretty arcane. So
Oh man! All right, so you heard it here. The 76ers gonna win the championship.
I'm calling it. I'm calling my
Yeah.
shot.
Mm, you're pissed off the whole world. You're rooting for the Nets.
Oh, I know.
Unbelievable. All right, Jake. Where can they find you online?
So best place to find me is Twitter, Jack @Jack_Tierney. Also on Instagram and posted some NBA stuff today. ACT.
Awesome. Check them out. There you can find me on Twitter at the fake Marlis, BNARR. Of course, the channel's on Twitter at WG Everything, Instagram, Wicked Get Everything, Twitch, twitch.tv/Wicked Get Everything, and TikTok, search Wicked Get Everything. This has been At the Buzzer. I'm Brian. That's Jack. Thank you so much for watching.